Israel, fuck you and Israel. How's that?
That's fine.
Okay, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Move. Don't take pictures. I'll break your head and your phone. Get the fuck out of here.
It's America.
This is America.
Where are you?
This is where the fuck are you at?
Get your finger out of my face, homie.
You come to me over there talking shit.
You're about to go to jail, homie.
Man, fuck you and jail.
Goodbye. It's America, homie.
Homie, it's America. You respect yourself before you get stepped on.
I am respecting you enough not to beat your ass.
Did I hear that nice older Muslim gentleman just drop an F-bomb? Mark, can you play that one more time?
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Wow.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Long live Palestine!
Take picture of me. Think I'm scared of you, Israel? Fuck you and Israel. How's that?
That's fine.
Okay, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Move. Don't take pictures. I'll break your head and your phone. Get the fuck out of here.
It's America.
This is America.
Where are you?
This is where the fuck are you at?
Get your finger out of my face, homie.
You come to me over there talking shit.
You're about to go to jail, homie.
Man, fuck you and jail.
Goodbye. It's America, homie.
Homie, it's America. You respect yourself before you get stepped on.
I am respecting you enough not to beat your ass.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about this jihad gene in some people where there's vitriol and hatred, and we're gonna try. Hey, guys, can we find the young guy that videotaped that had that little confrontation with that guy?
Yeah, we'll work on it, Tom.
If you can get him, I'm sure we can. We'll get him later on in the show. We will interview him live regarding what you just saw. That took place in Atlanta, Georgia, just a couple of days ago. But as we said, this is going to start taking place all over the world, all over the United States. Get ready, folks. We got a lot of work to do ahead of us. Let's go right now to our war correspondent, Mr. Barry Shaw. Barry, by the way, is an author. He's written Defining the Narrative. He's an expert on counterterrorism issues, on geopolitical affairs in Israel. Barry Shaw, welcome today, Tuesday, the 15th of July, here and there, but with a little time differential. What's going on with this supposed ceasefire that isn't a ceasefire, that's firing? Help us understand that, please, Barry Shaw.
Yeah, hello, Tom. The Israeli cabinet met early Tuesday morning and agreed to accept the Egyptian-sponsored ceasefire, which is supposed to have come into operation at 9 a.m. Tuesday morning. As of 6 hours later, Hamas have continued their rocket bombardment. Their rockets, Tom, have reached Haifa, and there have been 50 rockets fired in the period when they should have been holding to a ceasefire.
Barry, two questions. What is Egypt? What is Egypt? Egypt is a dysfunctional, failed state. What is the role of Egypt in negotiating a ceasefire, number one? And number two, and answer the second question first, please. What is the distance from the northern part of the Gaza Strip to Haifa going north? How many kilometers or miles is that?
Okay, in kilometer terms, that's about 178 kilometers.
Wow. What about the role of Egypt in negotiating a ceasefire? Those of us who study Egyptian geopolitics say, we don't understand what's going on.
All right. Well, we have a slightly different opinion here in Israel with regard to the al-Sisi government than perhaps the White House has. We have a more of a respect, a more healthier respect for al-Sisi and what he has done in order to hit the Muslim Brotherhood terrorist regime which controlled Egypt. And he also shares with Israel a detestation of Hamas, which is another wing, as you know, Tom, of the Muslim Brotherhood. We have a mutual interest also in draining the Sinai swamp of Al-Qaeda terrorists as well. So there is a mutual admiration society between Egypt and Israel, both militarily and behind the scenes diplomatically.
That's really bizarre on a couple of levels, but very understandable on a military level. The data, and we're up to date on them all the time, and the Egyptian people, there's not a whole lot of love on many of the Egyptian people, in fact, a majority, to Jews in particular, but the necessities, the geopolitical, geomilitary necessities, make strange bedfellows in this sense. So, okay, that's understandable. Why didn't the Hamas stick to this ceasefire? I mean, what advantage is it to be pounded by the IDF, the IAF?
Well, there's a couple of issues at play here, Tom, both one within the Israeli government and also the Israeli people. But if I answer you on the Hamas role, Hamas from their position is playing a very crafty, clever game. The longer they keep fighting, the more their brownie points go up in the not only the Palestinian, but the greater Arab and Islamic world. And so after a ceasefire, if they can be shown to be firing and saying, well, we never agreed to the ceasefire because Israel hasn't agreed to the terms that we wanted, including, for instance, they were demanding that Israel would release prisoners, that the blockade on Gaza would be lifted both from the Israeli side and from the Egyptian side. So they say, well, this ceasefire, has never been agreed with us, so they're fighting still.
I did a few years as an amateur boxer years ago, and there was always one of these washed-up fighters who'd be in the corner in the last round, just getting pounded and pounded and pounded, and your heart went out for him. And then when the bell rang, he'd raise his hands in victory, right, like he won the fight. Is that a sort of a metaphor for the Hamas?
Yeah. I mean, throughout don't forget the whole Arab world and the Islamic world is watching this through Al Jazeera and the other Arab channels, and they're cheering on Hamas like crazy. So other things that seem like ridiculous to us, it looks like a great victory for them.
Now, earlier on Tuesday, Secretary of State John Kerry weighed in on the issue. Do you have any information on that?
Yeah, well, he's in Vienna as I'm speaking to you, but he did place the blame for the ongoing violence firmly on Hamas, which is a relief for us in Israel because it usually hits on Israel. His statement says, I cannot condemn strongly enough the actions of Hamas in so brazenly firing rockets in multiple numbers in the face of a goodwill effort to offer a ceasefire in which Egypt and Israel work together and that the international community strongly supports. So in a sense, as far as the international community is concerned, Hamas is at fault here, is to blame here.
Wow, and what we're doing in the States, ourselves and our coalition partners who are standing with Israel, we are putting a lot of pressure. We're doing this show, but we're activating people to put pressure on the administration. We're starting to help organize demonstrations, pro-Israel demonstrations around the United States, not only in answer to the absurd jihadi demonstrations that are going on, but principally in support. So we have a movement, not only in the U.S. Congress and in state legislatures, but on the ground to stand with Israel. And maybe, just maybe, this administration is starting to understand that. That's why John Kerry's making those kinds of statements. Hey, Barry, take 30 seconds. Give us a concluding thought on what's going on there, and we will catch up with you at our next special.
Hi, can I give you one other point before I go off there very quickly?
Yes, absolutely.
The American support is important. I've made an appeal before that Congress should press the White House to cease all funding to the Palestinian Authority that continues to have Hamas, a terror regime firing rockets on Israel, deprive them of funding. But within the Israeli government, breaking news as I'm telling you, is that since the ceasefire, since the cabinet, there has been within Israel public argument or divisions, if you want to call it that, between politicians like Avigdor Lieberman and Naftali Bennett on the one hand, and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu on the other. And I want to tell you, despite over a month of rocket fire and over 1,200 terrorist rockets, the majority of the Israeli people, and the people that I'm in contact with all the time, are demanding of the government to keep on hitting Hamas, degrade Hamas, get rid of Hamas and Islamic Jihad. And there is a reason, in my opinion, very quickly in 2 sentences, why I think that Bibi Netanyahu wants an end to the conflict with Hamas, and that is Iran. That is the issue of an Iranian nuclear problem, which they're supposed to finish next week. And I think he's looking at Hamas as a distraction to a more important issue for Israel. But maybe we'll discuss that on another program.
We definitely want to follow up with that. Thank you very much. On the ground in Netanya, Israel, Barry Shaw. You stay safe, Barry. That's a critical component we're going to build into future specials in a day or two regarding the role of Iran in this conflagration, supplying some of the missile hardware to the Hamas. And you go, wait a minute, a Shia and a Muslim Brotherhood? Hey, hating Jews, they're together on that. So stay tuned. Right now, our next segment, we're going to go to the second part of our interview with Dr. Martin Sherman, who speaks so specifically, eloquently, and importantly to these issues, particularly regarding a ceasefire. Take a look at this. You said in your recent Jerusalem Post article, you said that restoring calm, which is the narrative we're hearing coming out of the Israeli military spokespersons during the course of this war, restoring calm, you said that is a dereliction of duty, and that in many ways this defies both reality and logic. Expound upon those thoughts a little bit, please, sir.
Well, if your message to the Hamas today, if you stop firing, we'll stop firing, basically you're transferring to the Hamas all the initiative, because they decide when they start and they decide when they stop, and they can decide whether the damage inflicted on them is acceptable or not. And as soon as it approaches unacceptable levels, they stop firing, you stop firing, they go back to enhancing capabilities and wait for the next round. Now, this is having an accumulated effect on Israeli society. As far as I mentioned earlier, everything seems to be functioning normally, but people in the South, for only so long, will be prepared to absorb attacks every 3 years, every 2 years, every 1 year, until they start looking for new places to live. And so I think there's a serious danger, unless we put a stop to this for a long, long time, of the South being depopulated eventually. I think that unless we find there's some solution for the growing threat in Sinai, the entire tourist industry in the southern port of Eilat could be endangered. And I think that Israel needs to send a much firmer message with much more proactive initiative on its own part. It should be consistently pursuing, as it used to do, pursuing the terrorists, not calming them down and waiting for, embracing for the next attack, because that's basically what they're doing. And I think in many ways the Israeli government has lost its way. It's misperceived its function. It sees itself as, it sees its duty as to manage the country rather than lead the nation. And I think there's a big difference between the two. And we need people with long-term visions who can tell us where the country is going and not how we're just managing this very difficult and deteriorating reality.
All right, now I want to go back to that shocking video that we showed the beginning of the show that took place just a couple of days ago in Atlanta, Georgia. And if our crack crew here is telling me the truth, we actually have the videographer on the line right now through a Skype call. Okay, there he is. Chad, hi, Tom Trento here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. We're doing well. We saw your video. We reached out to you. Could you briefly tell us what was going on and why you decided to go cover this event in downtown Atlanta, Georgia?
Well, I saw a Palestinian march taking place. They had banners proving that Martin Luther King was somehow on their side when he was on record supporting Israel. You know, and they said it was a peaceful protest. So I just wanted to go over there and videotape the video, or videotape the protest, and find out exactly what they were doing. You know, that's why I went, and I want to support Israel. You know, there's no reason that they should be even protesting. It's hogwash. It doesn't make sense.
All right, well, let's take a look at this video right now, and I want you to comment, particularly on this confrontation with this older Muslim man. It was amazing how you held your cool. Let's show that video, please, right now.
Free, free Palestine! More free Palestine! Wow! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
take a picture of me. Think I'm scared of you or Israel? Fuck you and Israel. How's that?
That's fine.
Okay, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Move. Don't take pictures. I'll break your head and your phone. Get the fuck out of here.
It's America.
This is America.
Where are you?
Where the fuck are you at?
Get your finger out of my face, homie.
You come to me over there talking shit.
You're about to go to jail, homie.
Man, fuck you and jail.
Goodbye. It's America, homie.
Homie, it's America. You respect yourself before you get stepped on.
I am respecting you enough not to beat your ass.
Well, Chad, I got to give you a lot of credit. There are lesser men that would have maybe gone medieval on that guy as he was in your face and cursing. And what composed you to respond as you did?
I have a life, and I'm in America, you know, and they're free to protest. They're free to hold a flag, you know, just like I'm free to hold a flag up and, you know, just be there. And, you know, I'm a family man. I really don't even want to hurt anybody, you know, but if it comes down to it, you know, mercy. That's why, mercy.
Really? You know, how many times have we seen this, guys, around the United States where the Islamic Jihad gene just can't control itself when freedom is taking place and cameras are out there? Mark, you had a lawsuit because you got hit by a professor at the Florida State Capitol in Tallahassee a couple of years ago, pressed charges, and he was found guilty. Unbelievable. All right, folks.
Chad, you want to mention the next Hamas march in Atlanta, did you not?
Actually, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, on July 25th, they plan on going back out there and holding the same kind of demonstration. Last time I went out there, there was me and one other Israeli friend of mine that showed up. And I'm hoping that the next time this happens that we don't have to stand alone. You know, whether it be the Israelis that come out there or the Christian Americans or just the people that are in America that believe in the freedoms that we have. You know, it's up to us to make sure that stuff like this doesn't enter our borders. We don't want to be like Israel. We don't want rockets flying over. We don't want buildings blowing up. It's my job to protect these buildings, and I plan to do this. You know, so I'm hoping that together as Americans we can see the truth and we can fight the evil that's in the world and do it right. That's all. 25th, they're going back out there. You know, the same spot, same place. It's Peachtree Street and Marietta Street. They're going to march up to the CNN Center. And all that I ask is that I don't have to stand there alone this time.
All right. On that note, we're going to thank you. We're going to let you go now and go back out if there's anything going on in Atlanta. Shoot some video, and we'll teach you one of our United West lessons. When you take video with an iPhone or a smartphone, hold it this way, okay? Not that way. Thank you very much, Chad. We'll see you in the future.
God bless y'all.
All right, let's go now from Atlanta, Georgia, back to Israel. I was just handed an alert from one of our producers about a recent post on a Facebook page here in the United States by the Hamas. And as we all know, the organization CARE, Council on American Islamic Relations, is indeed a front group for the Hamas. And its leader for CARE in Florida is a gentleman by the name of Hassan Shibli. He runs CARE for the state of Florida. Number one Hamas chapter, according to CARE National in Washington, D.C. And he listed, Hassan Shibli, a post that Israel has a student propaganda war room to sell its massacre of civilians to the public. And he's kind of revealing this secret thing that's going on in Israel regarding the use of social media communicating a message. Well, we're going to go to our war correspondent in Israel, the Breitbart journalist Jordan Schachtel. I'm going to call him right now, see if he can get up to Herzliya, to the Interdisciplinary Center, and find out what the heck is going on up there. Hang on while I call Jordan. Hello, Jordan, are you there?
Hey, Tom. It's great to be with you.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. We are following a story that the Hamas, that is CARE, put up on a Florida Facebook page about the IDC in Herzliya. Do you know anything about that entity, and can you get up there and file a story for us?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm just getting back from the IDC Herzliya, and I filed a report with you all about what they call the IDC Advocacy Room that they're trying to expose efforts by Hamas and other Islamic organizations painting Israel as this demonic force when it obviously isn't the truth. And there's many students there that have volunteered their spare time in order to fight the good fight on behalf of Israel. So I filed a report with you, and I hope you guys enjoy it and get something out of it.
Well, then what you're saying is that the IDC, which many people consider the Harvard of Israel and for counterterrorism, the effort is to deconstruct the propaganda coming out of the Hamas and the PA and CARE and all these anti-Jewish organizations.
Absolutely. It's basically trying to counteract the delegitimization efforts that have been going on throughout the Middle East, but not only the Middle East, throughout Europe and the rest of the West, including America. And this is a team of volunteers, a lot of them who study at the IDC Herzliya, a lot of bright Israeli students from various different backgrounds that want to counter the propaganda being spewed against Israel on a daily basis.
All right, we're going to go to your report right now. I believe it's ready for us. Jordan, you stay safe there. We'll talk to you in a day or two, okay?
All right, thanks, Tom. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for this report. Bye-bye. Here we go. Jordan's report filed from Herzliya, the Interdisciplinary Center. Take a look.
We're a bunch of students who just care about the Israel image around the world. All of us here are volunteers. I'm one of them, and I'm basically, with a lot of other people, manage everything we do on social media.
Basically what we're doing here, we're trying to spread the word about what is really going on in Israel and try to let people know our side of the story, since not all the media is giving it the amount of attention they're giving the other side, so we're doing it ourselves.
What we are doing here at the IDC Advocacy Room is spreading all over the new media messages, pictures, letters, everything we can to show the world what is the reality in Israel.
I think it's very important to be here because I think there's a really big gap between what is presented in the media to what I feel and know as an Israeli. And I think it's important for all of us to be here and support Israel as much as we can. I think the social media is now the best platform to spread out the word, the real truth, and this is why I'm here.
In order to spread the message that Israel has the right to defend itself around the world, and in order for people abroad to know that what we as Israelis experience here every day.
It's important because I think America doesn't understand how conflicted this entire area is.
And the reason that the Western world should care about this, and not only the Western world but the whole world, is because that there's a story here that is taking place in the Middle East, which is a difficult zone to live in. The Western world cannot say anything about it unless they know the truth. So we're trying to give the whole picture and to show our side of the story.
And now it's time for my humble admonition to Prime Minister Netanyahu. Sir, you've just seen these young, dedicated, committed kids at Herzliya working hard, diligently, day and night, to deconstruct the propaganda campaign worldwide against Jews, against Israel. Sir, as you make some extremely serious decisions in the days ahead, decisions regarding ceasefires or decisions regarding the destruction of the military capability of the Hamas, for the sake of these kids, for the sake of their future, so they don't have to participate in war, but in fact can become constructive citizens of Israel. Please, my admonition, make the right decision for these kids so dedicated to you and your country.